So there were definitely a few things that I thought were going to negatively impact this game. But after playing it, turns out that wasn't the case. Oh my goodness. So guys, you know how I felt about the game coming up upon this E3 release. I wasn't necessarily pessimistic, but I also wasn't, necessarily optimistic. I was more of in between. I was going off of what they had shown us, and what they had shown us up until, actually playing it wasn't really, anything spectacular. It wasn't anything to be like, wow, this is really gonna, set a standard in the Spider-Man arena, right? I felt like they had, kind of Frankenstein this together and try to make it somehow their own. Now, after going through the comment section on Spider-Man related videos, I noticed that many of you guys had the same hesitance that I did. And I wanted to make this video to reassure you that there's really nothing to worry about. Now, in no particular order, let's start off with number one, and that's going to be the charge jump. Now, the charge jump in Spider-Man 2, I loved it. I thought it gave you a great sense of momentum, charging up and just launching you forward. I honestly think that that's something they should probably add, but in the sequel, because as it is right now, it works fine without it. There was never a time that I was swinging and that I was thinking, man, I wish they had a charge jump. I wish I could have charge jump off of that building. And I think they've created the system, they created the web swinging mechanic so that it doesn't need it. This now leads me into my second point, which was the fear of web swinging. After seeing a few shots of them web swinging and doing certain mechanics, I didn't feel like they were going to pull it off as well as Spider-Man 2 did. Now, albeit Spider-Man 2 is a monster of its own. This is not, I'm just going to put this out there, they're not the same mechanics, it's not the same physics as Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2, the real weight physics that they have there, that was great there. The mechanics they have here is great for this game, because it's going for more of a cinematic feel. One of the things I feel leads to this, that I may cover in my animation channel, but is the camera. Because when you're going to perch and you jump off, the camera lags behind as if it's Spider-Man's going so fast that it can't keep up. And it gives you a great sense of speed, of just really going fast. Another great instance would be the transitional dive to the web swing. The camera just ever so slightly dips behind him, and it seems like it zooms in a little bit to really give you that cinematic rush as cars and the buildings are flying by. Now, the second part to web swinging is that many people are feeling that it's dumbed down, like the complexity is watered down, and that you just pick up and go. It's just simple as that. And after playing it, with a gameplay time of about an hour and 23 minutes, because I went in line over 5 times, and there was a wait period of sometimes from 10 to 20 minutes. The line took about 45 minutes to get to the front to actually play it. Then he had the 15-minute demo. So I spent some time into this game. And I have to tell you, my first playthrough, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, it's cool. Other than that, there's not a lot of depth to this web swing. You just pick up in R2, I get it. And it wasn't until like my second, my third, my fourth, and then finally my 5th time of playing it that I really learned to master it as far as the traversal. Because there's a lot going on. When it comes to web swinging low, that many of you guys were talking about, can you do that? Yeah, you can web swing low to the ground, but I realized that it takes time to master that. Because you web swing, and he'll go up in the animation, so you have to release it, you have to time it right in the animation, so you're constantly going down, keeping it level with the web swing. And when it comes to navigating yourself around New York, yeah, you can hold the R2 like in Spider-Man 2 and just do your regular web swinging. But in this, honestly, I would say this is probably a little more difficult than Spider-Man 2. And hear me out when I say this. The reason why is because if you hold R2 and you're web swinging, you're not going to really get any momentum. Or Spider-Man 2 kind of cheated that with the charge jump, right? Because you can swing and charge jump and it'll shoot you forward. With this, there is no charge jump. So you really have to know what you're doing to gain that speed. So that's everything from perching to wall running to web zipping to keep up your momentum. And it does everything in its power to help you maintain that momentum, because like they said, R2 is the GOAT button. If you hit a wall, well, it's not going to stop you. And I get what they were saying, because at first I was like, I'd like the, hitting the wall, because that lets me know that, I'm not really, my web swinging isn't where it needs to be in order to be fluid. However, with Spider-Man PS4, when you hit a wall, if you're holding R2, which you should be if you're web swinging, you automatically go into wall running. and it's that constant sense of progression. You can, ding it if you like, but for me, I thought it was fun. And I think that is the main thing in any Spider-Man game. You can have reasons why Spider-Man PS4 is fun, and you can have reasons why Spider-Man 2 is fun. They can be different reasons and still be the same level of fun. For this, I thought it was fun because I can now just keep on going. There were times, where you hit a wall in this, or when you don't make a turn or something like that, and it's your fault, and it stops momentum. And it's the real thing, just how Flow in Spider-Man 2 was you choosing picking points and stuff like that. Well, this with momentum is its level of challenge of you maintaining that speed, of picking up speed. And they said there's going to be upgrades to the speed. Based off of what I did in the gameplay I thought I was going pretty fast. If you can go faster than that, then that's going to be that another level of difficulty for you to maintain that speed. So the next thing on the list is going to be combat. I haven't seen the trailers. I wasn't exactly sold on the combat because I was seeing stuff that I'd seen this in the TASM series. I saw webbing up guys with Spider-Man 2. I've seen this before, but after having hands-on experience, and I know many people are going to compare it to Arkham, and after playing it, I can't say I get how they feel that it's Arkham because you go from one person to the other person. But it's a different feel, right? It's you doing that. Whereas Arkham, you point and he would automatically go towards them. Well, if you point at someone and press the square, Spider-Man is just going to start punching. He's not going to punch. He's not going to run towards them. So that gives you the moment to push web zip. So then you web zip and bam, then you get your combo off. Along with that, now you can jump. Press X to jump over someone. He'll jump over them. Press circle and you dodge. So there's a lot, everything that is involved with this Spider-Man's combat, he's moving. Right? It's not so much a steal and it moves automatically for you. You have to move in order to not get hit. You have to move in order to hit someone. Like it keeps you active, right? I think I love that about this game. Because my first, playthrough is completely night and day from like my 5th or even my 3rd playthrough. Because there was that experience in journey of finding out different combos. Now, lo and behold, there's a move list. But it's fun finding out what you can and can't do, because I don't even think certain moves are even on the move list. Like when you jump on a wall and then shoot off and punch someone, like I don't believe that's on the move list. So there's certain things that they've incorporated that makes it fun to discover, that makes it that replay value. And I think that's going to be a selling point, a high selling point in a Spider-Man game once you beat the main story. So the 4th thing on this list is going to be fall damage. This is something that I was completely bitching and moaning about. So when it comes to fall damage, as we already know, it's not in this game. When you jump from a high building, you go all the way down, he does a superhero landing and, he cracks the ground. You can see the pavement crack. I don't really have a problem with that because there's never, unless you're trying to do it purposefully, you'll never see that animation. Like you'll literally never see the animation. I understand how they're saying, this is more experience, with Spider-Man, there's never gonna be a time where he just fall and splat. But, I'll still argue with that. I'm like, well, there's plenty of times in the comics where, he's run out of web fluid or something's fallen and broken and he goes splat. Or he hurts himself or something like that. At the end of the day, it's not a game breaker. It pains me to say this because, I'm so in love with the Spider-Man 2 game. I love that game. But in this game, it's not a deal breaker. There's never any time that I was, falling from great heights and didn't have anything to swing to or zip to. I didn't spend that much time on the ground to begin with, honestly. I don't know anyone who was playing who was really free roaming on the ground because there's so much fun above you. There's so much vertical just gameplay that you gotta immerse yourself in that you don't really care what's going on the ground. It's great to hear the sound effects of cars whooshing by and people, oh, Spider-Man, stuff like that. But most of the gameplay, all of it, I'd say 95% is above ground, given that it is Spider-Man. So the last thing on the list is gonna be, of course, night and day cycle. This was something I was like, yo, we gotta have night and day cycle. Every game, every game on E3 was talking about how they have a night and day cycle. After playing the demo, it would have been a great touch. It would have been an amazing touch to see that sun come down and the lights and all that. It would have been great to see that and just have that happen automatically. I get that they said because they didn't want to do it because it would affect the graphics or something like that. After seeing this game, the game is beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, the game is beautiful. I don't know how much, you know, it would downgrade the graphics, but where this game is right now on the PS4 Pro, the game is absolutely gorgeous. It would have been a nice touch for them to do that, especially with how beautiful the game looks. I don't think it would have gone down that much as far as quality, but hopefully, once again, there's a lot of stuff that I'm sure they learned from this game that they will implement in the sequel, which I think if this is what they were able to do, coming from Ratchet and Clank and what, Resistance and what, Sunset Overdrive to Spider-Man, I mean, they bit off a lot. I don't know if many of you guys know this, but they're tackling Sinister Six. I mean, that's a lot to tackle. You know, with the more you tackle, the more criticism and skepticism it's going to look. You know, more people are going to be looking through that magnifying glass, like, okay, you bit off a lot. Let's see if this is all fluff, or let's see if this is all quality. So I'm excited for the game release. I was sold from the jump just for it being a Spider-Man game, but now I can honestly be content in me being sold. Instead of it being just, you know, Spider-Man, now I can say, hey, this game is fun to play. I'm excited to play the full thing. I hope September can't come soon enough. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you're still not sold on the game, and let me know the reasons why, or if you're like, yo, okay, let's do this. Either or. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.